Hello, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the business news here on MIddayLive. My name is Alfredo Kanse. Let's go on to our first story. And the newly appointed Chief Executive Officer of Brand Ghana, Helen Annan, says her office has outlined plans to collaborate with MMDAs, as municipal and district assemblies, to educate the public on their respective roles to Brand Ghana. Speaking exclusively to TV3, she explained the ability of individuals to understand their role will help the office effectively carry out its mandate. To bring you the details of that story later on in the bulletin. But away from that, let's go on to some more stories where the Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program wants non-state actors in the agricultural value chain to adopt innovative ways of farming to increase productivity. This also was, they believe, will ensure food security and eradicate poverty on the continent.
Global statistics indicate about 70% of the world's arable lands are in Africa. 9 billion of population are expected to be fed by 2025 through enhanced agricultural productivity. Africa's agriculture has been dominated by the public sector and largely based on subsistence farming, a situation that has slowed the continent in maximizing the sector's potentials and economic contributions.
Trade is now being done between blocks of independent states, European Union, Asian markets, American markets. And Africa will have to break into these markets with quality agricultural produce. And the only thing that can salvage us is to have a very strong agricultural value chain system.
There have, however, been interventions to enhance agricultural productivity to meet global market demands. The Comprehensive Africa Agricultural Development Program, CADIP, aims to achieve agriculture-led socio-economic growth that will create wealth, tackle poverty, and reduce hunger. CADIP, however, wants non-state and private players to step up more concerted efforts at achieving these goals.
With the CADIP Non-State Actors Coalition, they have a platform under which they can now organize, which means that one, they can plan together, two, they can look at things collectively together, share perspectives, share lessons, and also act together by doing action plans.
Non-state actors from the private sector, NGOs, farmer organizations, among others, were sensitized on the purpose, strategy, and status of the CADIP. The workshop, among other things, was to draft an action plan for areas in which non-state actors in Ghana can be strengthened for the implementation of the Malabo Declaration at the national level.
Trying to bring together civil society and to energize them to have a greater voice and holding us accountable, to be outspoken about what matters and make sure that we're working in a transparent and open environment.
Human resource managers have been urged to focus on strategy for business growth rather than administration. Global Marketing Executive of the Society for Human Resource Management, Howard Wallach, says HR managers have an instrumental role to play in strategically positioning local businesses globally.
At a forum for the Society of Human Resource Management in Accra, speaker after speaker mentioned how the modules of human resource management has changed. For many, the era of simply doing administrative work are over, especially with the introduction of technology. The growing number of expatriate workers also is an indication of an increasing trend in global human resource management. Howard Wallach, a global markets executive of the Society for Human Resource Management, said businesses will have to be more aggressive and proactive in defining future goals and engagements.
Not everything that you need to do costs money. Certainly training costs money, but these days there's so much information on the internet, so it's HR's role to find out what are the resources available. Some of them are free. There's often free webinars, as well as what resources need to be or what services need to be paid for, and come up with a good training and development strategy that can make the best use of what's available, content, and the needs of the business.
Meanwhile, The president for the society in Ghana, Kojo Emisa, charged business owners and executives to trust HR managers with the responsibility of achieving a global outlook.
So ask yourself, why would the multinationals involve HR in strategy development, strategy formulation, strategy implementation, and then the typical Ghanaian company will sit down and see the HR as just a recruiter or somebody to do payroll and do the. So I think the biggest challenge is recognition of what we should be doing.
The forum is one of several activities to enhance the competencies of human resource managers.
The Executive Secretary of the National Media Commission, George Sapong, has urged the Data Protection Commission to liaise with the security services to ensure a reduction in cybercrime. He was speaking at a media training workshop on data protection and journalism in Accra.
Ghana is one of the few African countries to have enacted a data protection law, Act 843, to protect people's personal information and to safeguard their privacy. The law provides for the process by which one could obtain, hold, use or disclose personal data, while the Data Protection Commission has been established as an independent body to regulate and implement its provisions. The Executive Director of Ghana's Data Protection Commission, Teki Ekuete Falconer, said many people are not aware of the implications of their actions in respect of handling personal information. She hinted that the Data Protection Commission will partner the Ghana Journalists Association in reviewing the GJA Code of Ethics in order to enshrine the Data Protection Act in it.
If you look at the current Code of Ethics, you would see that there are things, and principles that fall squarely on data protection principles. But what we intend to do now is to get closer to the GJA during this review process to see how we can better enshrine and strengthen the data protection issues when it comes to ethics, so that it will not just be a legal requirement on members or people in the media. It will also be a part of your ethical processes to ensure that you are processing information lawfully and fairly. So that's what we intend to bring on board.
Executive Secretary of the National Media Commission, George Sapon, emphasized the need for the Data Protection Commission to liaise with the security services in the fight against cybercrime.
The Data Protection Commission's real work is in terms of dealing with decent society that is collecting data and helping them to understand the risk associated with the work they do and how to work with them to protect individuals better. But where there is a breach, how also to work with the individuals to seek redress. But I can see that the Commission will have to work extensively with the security system and the intelligence system within the country in order to help address issues of cybercrime.
According to the Data Protection Commission, there is an exemption to protect journalism, but this does not give an automatic blanket exemption from the Data Protection Act.
So that's it for business.